Hello, welcome. In this video, we are going to learn about logger and nodes in Oracle integration. So why we are using logger? And then after I will discuss about the nodes. So here you can see in action, we have option to choose logger. Even and after that, we can use the nodes. So whenever we are saying that suppose we have to print some values in log messages, not for any processing purpose, but for showing that for debugging that. Right. Suppose we are calling any third party endpoint and that point party endpoint returning some values. After that value, we have done some manipulation. And what we want to see that what kind of value that is and any log messages. Suppose we created various variables and before going to map that variable somewhere else check the value what is the value is that and everything. That's why we can use logger. So logger is something that it will provide you the view, provide you the option to show to see the values in the activity stream in the log messages. So whenever we are running the integration, it's generating instance, and based on that instance, when we are moving to checking the log message, we can check the endpoint value, variables value, everything using the logger. And we have another thing is node. So node is something like just for notification purpose, just for the helping for the developer to add the node in integration so that they can identify. Suppose I created integration, the large integration, and some point of time in integration somewhere I need to add any third party endpoint call, but right now I don't want to add. Right, there is some kind of logic. So there can be chances later on we will forget where we have to add. So what we will do, we will add a node over there so that next time when we will come and check the integration, we can get to know, okay, here is the node. And in this node, we have to add that kind of endpoint so that the later on we can remove the node and we can add that the any services or anything we want to add over there. So here you can see this is the endpoint. So let's understand with simple basic example. So in this REST endpoint, I configure request payload, and request payload, if you will see, I just added a value p message. In the message at runtime, we will provide any value, whatever value will be there. It will, I want to show that value in the log messages. Remember, log message, whenever we add logger, the value of logger can be displayed in the activity stream while debugging the integration, but the node will not reflect. Node just for a developer purpose, for the integration canvas only. Outside that, we cannot see the logger node, whatever node is there, right? So now what we will do, we will add the first logger so that we can display whatever value will be there. So here logger, let me first provide the name of that endpoint. So I will provide that the message the score logger done. And here we have two options, the always and the when tracing level is set to audit. So when we will select always, anytime whenever integration will be executed, it will show the value inside the logger. And when we will select the when tracing level is set to audit, so the logger value will only be visible when we select the tracing label, right, while activating the integration as audit or the tracing mode enable, right? That time only we can see. So I will choose always, and here we will provide the value. So what value we will provide, I will use concat operation, concat, and will make here message receive from request payload is, and here after that I will add the value. So what value we will add? Whatever value we are receiving as in from the request payload. So this p message I will concatenate here. Now done. So here if you will see what we have is that here if you'll see, it will show message received from request payload is, and this will be the message, whatever message we will receive from the request payload. So this is the logger, and once I will let me add the note. So here this is a note, and here you can see in notes we can't add any variables, anything. Even you can see in the logger we added the variable values. We can add we added the node values and all, right? The request payload and all. But in logger, no, in notes we don't have anything like that. So here note name is edit node one, and I will provide a value. I will provide a value as this is for testing. And remember, this node value will not be reflect at runtime. Remember, and here we have one error because we know that whenever we are creating integration, it's mandatory to have at least one business identifier. So I will add the parameter request payload value as a business identifier. That's done. We can see we don't have any error in our integration. We will save. So here you can see when integration will executed, we will pass some value. That value will be displayed in the logger, and in notes it will not reflect anything in the tracing instance, and that integration will be completed. So let's move to the running the part. So first I will activate the integration, and I will select as debug active, and here we have to run the integration. So once we will run the integration, it will ask to pass some values, right? So note whatever parameters we added as p underscore and e double s g message. This is our request payload, right? Here we will provide hi team. This message is for this purpose. And when I will run the integration, the same value will be mapped in the logger and it will display in the logger. So here you can see this is activity stream. It's generated the ID for each and every instance. And once we will refresh here, you can see the message is started. Whatever value we pass, that value is passed to integration. And after that, here you can see here in the message started processing in the logger. We added log as message underscore logger, right? Once we will edit, you can see message received from payload, request payload is hiding. This is the message we added, right? After that, integration got complete. If we will change the value to my name is Shafar, and once I will run, the same value will reflect here in the logger. You can observe that we don't have note here, right? I told you that note will never like visible in the activity stream while checking or while debugging the integration. So we have only logger. Once I will open the logger, you can see message received from request payload is managed suffer. So this is the simple way we can test the logger. We understand what is the logger, what is the note, difference between both. In next video, I will explain different things. Thank you so much for watching. If you have not subscribed this channel, please subscribe this channel. Thank you so much again.